Have you ever walked away from a first date feeling like you just, I don't know, endured a rather polite yet utterly soulless job interview?
Oh, definitely. That feeling is so common.
Or maybe even worse, feeling completely invisible. Like, despite your best intentions, everything you said just sort of evaporated?
Yeah, like you weren't even really there. It's a distinct kind of dread, isn't it?
It really is. That sinking feeling when the conversation feels, well, forced.
Yeah.
The silences just stretch on forever.
And you're both kind of counting down the minutes until you can make a graceful exit.
Exactly. We often dismiss a first date, right? Like it's just a casual thing, low stakes.
Mm-hmm. Just coffee, no big deal.
But what if it's actually, profoundly more than that? What if it's that singular spark, that tiny flicker?
The one that could ignite something really profound.
Hmm.
A life-altering connection.
Yeah. Or, conversely, the thing that just fizzles out, leaving two people walking away without even thinking about a second meeting.
And those initial impressions, those first moments, they stick around, don't they?
They really do. They linger, shaping how we see the other person long after the date's over.
Which makes the choice of activity, the setting, even the smallest thoughtful gesture. It's all way more than just a detail.
It absolutely sets the entire emotional tone, doesn't it? For what might or, might not happen next.
You've nailed it. That initial meeting carries this huge, often underestimated weight.
It feels heavy sometimes.
It does. It's where our subconscious just kicks into high gear, right? Processing all these tiny cues, forming this lasting mental snapshot.
And the anxiety before the date? That's real too.
Oh, absolutely. Before that crucial first date even starts, so many singles are wrestling with this potent mix of anxieties. It's surprisingly common.
Like what specifically? What are people really worried about?
Well, there's the big one. The gnawing dread of awkward silences. That, cavernous void in the conversation that feels like a personal failure.
Uh-huh. It makes you feel incompetent.
Totally. Then there's the fear of mismatched expectations. One person wants casual, the others may be hoping for more,
Yeah, that disconnect can be awkward.
Very.
Yeah.
And of course, the big question, will there be any chemistry? That elusive spark, will we actually click?
It feels so out of your control sometimes.
Exactly. And beyond those feelings, there are practical worries too. Like, am I going to spend too much money on this if it goes nowhere?
Right, the cost factor. Or choosing something maybe too elaborate.
Yeah, something that feels forced or inauthentic, not like a real spontaneous getting to know you.
These aren't trivial hang-ups, are they?
Not at all. They're universal, deeply human concerns. And actually acknowledging them, understanding where they come from, that's the crucial first step toward designing a date that, well, actually works.
Okay. So by the end of this deep dive, our mission is pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to understand how to transform what might feel like a high-stakes, nerve-wracking interview into something, well, genuinely memorable, an authentic connection.
And to have the tools to do it right,
Yeah.
no matter your personality or your budget.
Exactly. We're going to unpack insights from all over detailed stuff, from the art of the unforgettable first date, those raw, honest chats you find on forums like Reddit, plus expert advice,
Bringing it all together.
all curated to help you craft first dates that genuinely shine and foster real connection. Like, think about Liam, our listener, who's just tired of those job interview dates.
Right. You want something real.
We'll keep him in mind. How can these insights help him? You're listening to Stereo Butterflies. We talk about love, lust, and loneliness like no one's listening. And just a quick note, this episode was crafted with the help of AI technology to ensure high-quality insights. Okay, let's really unpack this. What truly elevates a first date beyond just, a casual meetup? Why does it feel like there's this unspoken pressure, something more profound than just getting to know someone?
It's precisely that unspoken pressure that defines it, I think. A first date isn't just an introduction. It's the genesis, the critical moment where a potential connection either ignites or just fizzles out.
The very beginning.
Exactly. The spark of a possible relationship.
Yeah.
And we really can't overstate the power of first impressions. They are disproportionately strong and remarkably enduring. They often set the whole narrative.
It's not just in our heads.
No, not at all. Social psychology talks about things like the halo effect, right? Where one good trait, like maybe showing thoughtfulness in planning the date, can unfairly make someone seem more appealing overall. It colors everything else.
Wow. Okay.
So the activity you choose for that first meeting, it's never just a detail. It fundamentally shapes the whole experience, the perception. It dictates the environment, the rhythm of conversation, even the emotional feel of the interaction.
So you're looking for a balance then.
Precisely. That delicate balance. Enough excitement to feel a bit special, but enough comfort and authenticity so your real personalities can actually come out.
Because too much adventure could be,
Well,
what, overwhelming?
totally overwhelming, but too simple, and it might feel like you didn't put in any effort, right?
Yeah, finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. The sweet spot is crafting an experience that gently encourages real conversation, lets both personalities shine naturally, and importantly, feels genuinely safe and enjoyable for everyone involved.
Okay, so if that first impression is so vital, a real kind of make or break moment,
Yeah.
what are the major pitfalls people are typically trying so hard to avoid? What keeps them up the night before?
Right. What makes them dread that, so how was it? Text from a friend.
Exactly.
It really boils down to a few core fears, things that come up again and again in studies and forums, everywhere people talk about dating. First and foremost, as we mentioned, that dread of awkward silences. It's not just about having nothing to say. It hits our sense of social skill, our self-worth even.
Yeah, it feels like a personal failing.
Totally. That uncomfortable void when the conversation just dies, it feels like a spotlight on, like, incompatibility makes minutes feel like hours. Imagine Liam, sitting there desperately searching for a topic, palms sweating.
Oh yeah, been there.
That's the fear. Then there's that pervasive fear of mismatched expectations.
Yeah.
We touched on it, one person once, casual, low pressure. The others maybe hoping for something instant, profound.
Leads to disappointment.
Big time.
Yeah.
Misinterpretations, feeling like you wasted time or emotional energy. That unspoken question, are we even on the same page here, looms large.
And the chemistry worry.
Huge. Will there be that spark, that easy flow? We're told to look for it, but it feels so uncontrollable. And beyond the interpersonal stuff, people genuinely worry about practical things too, especially overspending on a date that doesn't lead anywhere.
Nobody wants that.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like you sunk a lot of money into an uncomfortable or just plain bad encounter.
Yeah.
It's not just the cash. It's the value of your time, your effort.
Right. And the flip side, the overly elaborate date.
Exactly. The concern that the date might feel inauthentic, forced. Maybe the plans look amazing on paper, but in reality, it feels stiff, like a performance, not a real interaction.
So recognizing these fears is actually helpful.
Absolutely crucial. Understanding they're not just your unique anxieties, they're shared, universal.
Yeah.
That's the first step, because then you can proactively design an experience that actually addresses them, that mitigates them thoughtfully.
That makes so much sense, digging into those anxieties. So, okay, if awkward silences are a top fear, like for Liam, how do we actively prevent them? What kinds of activities naturally bridge that gap? Keep things flowing without feeling forced. Like the activity itself helps out.
You've hit the nail on the head there. Interactive activities are, well, they're absolute game changers. And here's why. The activity itself becomes the natural conversation guide.
Okay, how does that work?
It provides a shared focus that just relieves the pressure. So instead of that forced small talk, where you're desperately searching for common ground and maybe just staring into space,
Yeah.
you're collaborating or reacting or laughing or just engaging with something together. It gives you built-in topics, built-in reactions.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Think about things like escape rooms
Huh.
or trivia nights or even visiting a board game cafe.
Ah, okay.
In an escape room, you're problem-solving together, right? Communicating, celebrating little wins, strategizing. At trivia, you're laughing over wrong answers, high-fiving over right ones.
Board game cafe.
Playful competition, explaining rules, reacting to unexpected moves. It just takes the pressure off performing conversationally. It lets you both just be in the moment.
And you learn about their personality that way, too.
Exactly. Through action and reaction. Reddit users constantly recommend board game cafes and trivia nights. They told them underrated first date winners.
Really?
Yeah, because they blend entertainment with that crucial low-pressure vibe. I read one comment where someone said they failed every music question at trivia. But it still led to a second date because, and I quote, "We just kept cracking up about how bad we were, and I felt like we'd been friends for years."
That's brilliant. It's about the shared experience.
Shared vulnerability and humor. That's often where connection sparks.
That makes perfect sense. The shared challenge, it's like a social lubricant. But it's not just about, like, problem solving or competition, right? What about things that tap into creativity? Or maybe something a bit more unique?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can those work as icebreakers without feeling too I don't know, gimmicky for a first meeting.
Definitely. Artsy and unique experiences offer another fantastic way to connect. Think about creative settings like paint and sip classes
Mm.
or pottery workshops. Even something like a silent disco can work.
Silent disco.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. What's great about these is how they allow for genuine self-expression, a bit of lighthearted vulnerability
Oh,
without that job interview pressure.
how so?
Well, you're both engaging with something new, right? Maybe discovering a hidden talent, maybe just laughing at how bad you are at it. The focus shifts. It's not, what do I say next? Is, look at this thing I'm making. It looks like a potato.
Haha.
Or, wow, listen to this track. These dates are often memorable precisely because of the shared laughter over little imperfections or funny artistic results.
Mm.
Imagine Liam and his date, totally failing at pottery, covered in clay, just dissolving into laughter.
That's a great image. That builds connection.
Exactly. Now, some people do worry, like you said, that it might be too gimmicky, that it distracts from the real connection.
Mm.
But honestly, creativity often serves as this gentle icebreaker. It's a delightful distraction that, paradoxically, makes genuine interaction easier. It provides a relaxed, fun space where you can show a playful, authentic side.
So you connect through the shared experience, not forced chat.
Precisely. The activity is a frame, but the masterpiece is the interaction within it.
That's a really powerful way to put it. It sounds like these activities are less about the activity itself, really, and more about the kind of shared experience they create.
Yes.
It's the context, not just the content. It's like the setting becomes this third silent conversation partner.
Exactly. The activity is just the vehicle. The real goal is to facilitate that natural connection by giving you a framework, a space where genuine interactions can just organically happen.
Okay.
It gracefully shifts the pressure from what to say to what to do. And often, the conversation just takes care of itself because it has this natural, tangible anchor.
That's a big reframing. Okay, but what if someone, maybe like Liam again, prefers, say, fresh air and movement? Or maybe a more intellectually stimulating environment over a structured activity. Not everyone wants to paint or play Catan.
And that's exactly why outdoor and cultural options are such excellent alternatives to the usual dinner date. They cater beautifully to different personalities, different interests.
So outdoor stuff first.
Yeah, for those who love fresh air, being active, outdoor adventures are fantastic.
Mm.
Think about hiking a scenic, accessible trail. Nothing too crazy for a first date, obviously.
Right, keep it manageable.
Or renting bikes for a leisurely ride along a river.
Yes, sir.
Or even planning a stargazing picnic if the weather's right and you have a good spot.
Nice. What's the advantage there?
Well, a key benefit is they're often budget-friendly. And they're super flexible. You can adjust the length, the intensity, the conversation flows naturally with pauses for observation.
Less pressure to fill silence.
Exactly. Forum discussions often highlight that nature dates feel more authentic, less pressured. The environment itself gives you so much to talk about. It lets you relax, talk easily.
But you mentioned comfort levels.
Crucial advice. Always match comfort levels. You wouldn't suggest like ziplining or serious rock climbing on a first date with someone you barely know.
Yeah, that could be intense.
Totally overwhelming. Maybe even intimidating if they're not an adrenaline junkie. It's about a shared, enjoyable outdoor experience that fosters easy conversation, like admiring a view or commenting on a cute dog walking past.
So gentle hike, yes. Scaling Everest on date one, probably no.
Definitely no Everest. And for those who prefer stimulating their minds over their muscles, cultural immersion.
Yeah, what about that?
Perfect. For people who value deeper, maybe more contemplative conversation, cultural and intellectual outings are ideal. Options like exploring a museum, wandering through an art gallery, maybe even seeing a local theater performance.
How does that help conversation?
These places naturally spark discussion beyond just superficial small talk. In a museum, for instance, you move at your own pace. You pause, discuss exhibits that catch your eye, gives you natural breaks.
Ah, okay. Less pressure for constant talk.
Exactly. Moments of shared observation followed by thoughtful dialogue. It's a chance to discover shared intellectual curiosities. Many daters find cultural outings feel meaningful without being overly intense.
Relaxed, but potentially deep.
Yeah, you connect by exploring shared interests in art, history, performance. Imagine Liam and his date discussing a painting, sharing interpretations. It's a window into their thoughts, their values, that you might not get at a dinner table.
Sharing an experience that broadens your horizons together.
Right, that could be incredibly bonding.
So, if we connect this back to the bigger picture, these options, outdoor or cultural, They seem to provide these organic prompts for deeper engagement rather than just forcing it.
Yes.
It's like the environment itself becomes this interesting, silent conversation partner, taking some of that pressure off the two people.
That's a great way to put it. The setting acts as a catalyst, right? An organic source of discussion points. It allows conversation to flow more naturally and reveal more about each person's thoughts and perspectives than a simple, "So, what do you do?"
Ever could.
provides a shared anchor.
Exactly, a shared anchor point that grounds the interaction.
Okay, now for those who really want to stand out,
Right, but
maybe embrace a little quirkiness.
yeah.
What are some of the most memorable, yet maybe unconventional first date ideas that have actually worked surprisingly well?
Yeah, the ones that subtly say, I'm maybe not like everyone else.
Right. And lead to real connection.
Well, some of the most highly praised first dates, the ones that really leave a mark, are those that kind of bravely deviate from the standard dinner and drink script.
Okay, I'm intrigued. These are the dates that feel unique, authentic. They often spark this delightful surprise, a sense of shared mini-adventure right from the start.
Like what? Give me examples.
Okay, think about a bookstore scavenger hunt. Maybe you challenge each other to find a book based on a funny theme, or pick out a book you think the other person would like, then talk about your choices.
I like that. What else?
Visiting a bustling farmer's market, or exploring a quirky flea market together, browsing unique stuff, people watching, or even maybe attending a murder mystery dinner.
Whoa, murder mystery.
Yeah, it instantly throws you into a shared story, a collaborative game.
Interesting. So these might seem unconventional.
Right, they might. But they're consistently praised in online communities because they feel genuinely unique, authentic. They create this immediate shared adventure that bypasses a lot of the typical small talk.
So the bookstore one is popular.
Hugely. Reddit users often describe bookstore dates as surprisingly romantic. You get to discover each other's tastes, and there's this quiet intimacy. One person shared, "We spent an hour picking out the weirdest book titles for each other.
Uh-huh.
And I learned more about her sense of humor in that hour than I had in weeks of texting." It's not just talking, it's observing, reacting, sharing this moment of discovery.
So it's not about grand gestures, but thoughtful, slightly offbeat experiences.
Exactly. They reveal personality, interests, without direct questioning. It makes the connection feel organic and fun. The psychology is interesting too. Unconventional choices that signal creativity, a willingness to step outside the norm. That can be really attractive.
That makes so much sense. It sounds like the quirkiness really helps reveal personality without the pressure, like a playful peek into someone's inner world.
Yes. Less about the activity, more about the authentic interaction it makes possible.
It signals adventure, playfulness.
Right. And because this setting is a bit different, it often encourages people to let their guard down, be more spontaneous, to reveal sides of themselves that might not come out during a more, rigid traditional date.
So the activity becomes a lens.
A lens through which you see each other more clearly, more playfully. It fosters shared novelty, inside jokes, right from the beginning.
Okay, this all sounds fantastic. So many options. But does an unforgettable first date have to break the bank? That's a big concern, right? Overspending, especially early on. Liam might worry about that.
Oh, this raises such an important question. And it's a huge misconception that expensive equals impressive.
Do you think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not every great first date needs to cost a fortune. In fact, overspending too early, often seen as adding unnecessary pressure.
Pressure on who?
Both people.
Yeah.
The person paying might feel they need a certain return on their investment, and the person being treated might feel uncomfortable or obligated.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of a relaxed, genuine connection.
And it sets a weird precedent.
Exactly. Sets an unsustainable expectation. If date 1 is super fancy, what about date 2? Simple might feel like a step down. The goal isn't to impress with your wallet. It's to connect with your personality.
So what are the alternatives?
Yeah.
Thoughtful but budget conscious?
Totally. Think about a simple picnic in the park. You bring a blanket, some easy snacks. Just enjoy being outside together.
Nice and easy.
Or strolling through a beautiful botanical garden. Serene, visually stimulating, usually just a small entrance fee, if anything. Even something as simple as sharing ice cream at a beloved local shop.
Ice cream is always good.
Right. It's charming, memorable, precisely because it's low pressure and universally enjoyable.
What's the psychology behind why these work?
It's actually quite profound, but simple. When the focus shifts away from the price tag, it naturally lands squarely on the connection between the two people.
So it's about the interaction, not the cost.
Exactly. The emphasis is on genuine conversation, shared laughter, mutual enjoyment, not the perceived value of the activity. Now, people do worry. You hear this in forums.
That seems cheap.
Yeah, or unoriginal. But that's where the right personal touch comes in. That makes all the difference.
Oh, so?
For example, Liam could bring a favorite snack for the picnic that he remembered his date mentioning, or choose a spot in the garden that means something to him, and share the story. Or pick an ice cream shop with a unique vibe or a flavor they talked about.
Ah, showing you paid attention.
Precisely. These small, thoughtful gestures make these dates feel far more special, more personalized than any expensive generic alternative. It demonstrates care and ingenuity, not just cash. It shows you're paying attention, which is honestly priceless.
That's such a valuable perspective shift. Okay, but even with all these brilliant ideas, people still have those lingering anxieties, right? That pit in your stomach before you walk in, the dread of a misstep.
Oh yeah, those pre-date jitters are real.
Let's tackle them head on. How do we specifically avoid those dreaded awkward silences? Suggesting interactive stuff is great, but what if it still lulls?
That fear of dead air is almost universal. It hits our desire for social acceptance right where it hurts. So, beyond just picking an interactive setting, trivia, cooking class, street art tour, which are great for natural flow, there's a simple but really effective trick. Come prepared with a few fun, open-ended questions.
Like an interrogation list.
No, not an interrogation. Just gentle nudges, conversational catalysts to keep things moving if needed. Instead of, like, do you like your job?
Try.
Try what? Maybe, what's one unexpected thing you've learned recently about yourself or the world? Or, if you could instantly become an expert in any random skill, what would it be and why?
Ooh, I like those.
Or, what's a book or movie that really shifted your perspective? They're not yes-no questions. They invite stories, reveal values, give you ground for more discussion.
Taps into their inner world a bit.
Exactly. Prompts them to share something meaningful, even small. But the key is, you have to genuinely listen to the answers. Ask follow-up questions. Don't just wait for your turn to talk.
Right, active listening.
Yeah, the science of self-disclosure shows that even light reciprocal sharing builds rapport incredibly quickly.
That's a brilliant way to keep the ball rolling. A real, psychological hack. Okay, but what about reading signals? How do you tell if they're actually enjoying themselves or just being polite? It's so easy to misread things.
It is. And so many daters worry about misreading signals. It can lead to this paralysis, right? Like, should I suggest another drink? Should I lean in?
Totally. So what do you look for?
Well, body language often speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
It's this fascinating, often subconscious dialogue happening. Common signs of interest include leaning in when you talk, maintaining comfortable eye contact, not staring, but engaged, subtly mirroring your gestures. Like if you cross your arms, maybe they do too a little later. If they laugh at your jokes, even the bad ones, or ask follow-up questions about what you're saying, that shows they're investing energy.
But how do you avoid overanalyzing?
That's the trick. The best approach is to stay present. Avoid playing detective, trying to decode every single blink. Instead, maintain authentic curiosity.
Okay.
And if you're genuinely unsure, a lighthearted check-in can work wonders. It doesn't have to put them on the spot. A casual, are you having fun? Or, this place is pretty neat, right?
Let's gauge the vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their response, their overall demeanor, will tell you way more than trying to interpret one isolated gesture. Trust your gut, but also trust their response.
And then there's the big one. The question that seems to haunt every first date discussion, whispered in nervous texts.
Yes.
Should you kiss on the first date? Classic dilemma. So many opinions.
It truly is. This question pops up everywhere. Forums, expert Q&As, you name it. And the honest answer, it's not universal. Every interaction is totally unique.
So there's no single rule.
Nope. Some people feel a spontaneous, passionate kiss can really seal a great evening. Creates an electric memory, signals clear mutual desire. Others strongly believe it's better to wait. Let the anticipation build for date 2. Or they want to establish a deeper emotional connection first before physical intimacy comes in.
So what's the key then?
The absolute key is clear, enthusiastic consent and mutual comfort. Period. It's about reading the room, reading their body language, and ensuring there's a clear, enthusiastic yes.
Verbal or nonverbal?
Either. explicitly verbal or unmistakably nonverbal from both sides.
Yep.
If the vibe is undeniably right, if there's genuine, palpable mutual attraction, a clear sense of openness that's been building, then a simple, genuine moment can speak volumes and feel natural.
But if you're unsure,
Experts consistently say, never force it, never assume. Ambiguity is a definite no-go zone. If there's any doubt, any hesitation at all, always err on the side of caution and respect.
let anticipation build.
Exactly. It can be delightful. A gentle touch on the arm, a lingering gaze, a warm smile. Those can often be just as powerful as a kiss. They signal interest while respecting boundaries as they develop.
Okay, so no unexpected grand romantic gestures that might backfire. That brings up boundaries again. It's important to set them. But how do you do that without killing the vibe? Making things awkward or cold. I feel like walking on eggshells sometimes.
It can feel like that, yeah. But it's perfectly okay, actually. It's essential and healthy to set clear personal boundaries, whether that's about physical touch, how long you hang out, even certain conversation topics. Your comfort is paramount.
But people worry it seems cold.
They do. Many fear that setting boundaries will come across as aloof or signal disinterest, ruin the flow. But honestly, articulating your boundaries, even subtly, often creates a deeper sense of trust and respect.
How so?
It shows you know what you want. You value your comfort. You're confident enough to communicate it. That demonstrates self-respect, which is inherently attractive.
So how do you phrase it?
A helpful way is to frame boundaries positively. Focus on your preference, not a hard no. For example, if you prefer public places for safety, you could say lightheartedly, I'd love to meet at that lively cafe. I always feel more relaxed and can chat more freely in places with a good buzz.
Ah, it keeps it light but clear.
Exactly. It protects your comfort and safety without sounding like a strict rule. It's about proactive self-care and open communication right from the start. Sets a precedent for a respectful dynamic.
And on that note, we mentioned elaborate plans earlier. Why do those grand, extravagant dates like, I don't know, a hot air balloon ride, a private yacht, a super fancy tasting menu, why do they often backfire on a first date? They sound so romantic in theory.
They absolutely do sound romantic, like something out of a movie. And maybe they're wonderful for an anniversary or when you're really established, but discussions everywhere, from dating coaches to frustrated forum posts,
Yeah.
often highlight that these choices can feel like too much too soon for a first meeting. The main reason they backfire, they risk creating this atmosphere of intense pressure.
Pressure, but what?
Pressure to perform, to be constantly witty, to justify the expense with immediate, undeniable chemistry. Imagine Liam suddenly feeling he has to be like an instant stand-up comic to earn a Michelin star meal.
Yeah, that sounds stressful.
Totally. It can also set unsustainable expectations for future dates. If date one is this huge production, what's date two? The focus shifts away from genuine connection and onto the spectacle, the cost, the impressiveness.
So it distracts from the point.
Right. A first date should be about discovering if there's a real spark between two people. Natural conversation, shared enjoyment, not a high-budget show. Simplicity paired with genuine thoughtfulness almost always wins. It emphasizes the person, not the price tag. Allows authentic discovery without that weight of expectation.
Okay, no matter how exciting or creative the date idea is, what's the absolute non-negotiable, the bedrock foundation for any first meeting, especially now with online dating being so common?
Safety. Absolutely, 100% safety. It is paramount. It's the non-negotiable cornerstone.
Right.
Especially, like you said, with online dating. More people meet for the first time without any mutual friends or social vetting.
Which makes the setting crucial.
Incredibly crucial. Experts, forum discussions, everyone stresses choosing public, comfortable venues, places where both people feel secure and where, if needed, you can easily leave.
Like where?
A bustling cafe gives you visibility, easy exit. A board game cafe provides a fun activity, but you're surrounded by others. Even a museum tour, you're in a public space, there's that sense of security within a crowd.
And beyond location? Other safety tips?
Essential ones.
Yeah.
Always tell a trusted friend or family member your plans, where you're going, who with even just a first name and description, and roughly when you expect to be back.
Share location, maybe.
Yeah, share your live location if you feel comfortable doing that. Keep your phone charged, that's your lifeline. And crucially, avoid drinking too much alcohol.
Why specifically alcohol?
While one drink might loosen nerves for some, too much clouds judgment. It impairs your ability to react safely, makes you vulnerable.
Okay. What about adventurous dates and safety?
While ideas like kayaking or hiking can be amazing shared experiences down the line, many users and safety experts agree. Save those for later dates, when trust is established, when you know each other better.
So balance adventure with safety early on.
Exactly. For a first meeting, Prioritize accessibility and safety. Reddit threads are full of people defending the classic coffee date for precisely these reasons.
Because it's short, public, easy to end.
Exactly. Prioritizes safety and comfort above all. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being empowered, protecting yourself.
Safety first, absolutely. That's foundational. Okay, but we've talked about a lot of great ideas, but one size doesn't fit all, right? How do we make sure the date truly resonates with the other person, not just a generic good time? How do we personalize it effectively? This feels critical.
You've hit on one of the most overlooked yet seriously impactful keys to success. Tailoring the experience to match personalities and interests. It shows you've put thought into them. It signals genuine interest before you even meet.
So how do you figure that out? Extrovert versus introvert.
Yeah, think about Liam's date. If she seems like an extrovert, someone who thrives in lively social settings, the best ideas provide energy, natural interaction, trivia nights where their competitive side can shine, karaoke bars if they like the spotlight, maybe even a vibrant silent disco for something unique and high energy.
Kicks the vibe up.
Right. Lets extroverts naturally shine without awkward pauses, because there's always something happening.
And for introverts.
Introverts often prefer settings that allow for more meaningful one-on-one conversation without overwhelming sensory input. A quiet bookstore scavenger hunt, like we mentioned, provides focus, conversation points, but at a comfortable volume. A museum visit, a peaceful walk through a botanical garden. These can feel far more comfortable, more conducive to real connection than a loud, crowded bar. Many introverts say they value activities where the focus is less on constant chatter, more on shared observation, thoughtful dialogue.
Creating space for real connection, not performance. How do you know, though?
Yeah.
Their profile.
Yeah. Often their dating profile gives clues. Do they mention quiet hobbies like reading or painting? Or showcase lots of group photos at parties? You can make an educated guess.
Okay, so understanding their core energy is crucial. What about thrill seekers versus those who just want to chill? How do you tailor for that?
Exactly. For someone craving adrenaline, an adventure seeker, options like go-karting, maybe indoor rock climbing, or an escape room can turn the date into this exciting, memorable shared experience.
It's the blood pumping.
Yeah, bonds you through shared challenge, overcoming obstacles together. But for comfort-oriented daters, they might prefer slower-paced, more relaxed ideas, a picnic under the stars, a cozy cooking class where you learn something new together, low pressure.
How do you make sure you pick right?
The absolute key is communication beforehand, even subtly. Just ensure both people feel excited, not pressured. A quick text like, hey, I was thinking of either active idea or maybe relaxed idea. What kind of vibe are you feeling?
Shows you value their preference.
Immediately. Saves potential discomfort. And beyond personality types, probably the most powerful way to make a first date truly memorable. Weave in a shared interest you've discovered.
Ah, like if they love art.
Exactly. If you learned your date loves art, suggest visiting a local exhibit you've been wanting to see. Casually mention, I saw this and thought of you. If you both love books, plan that mini scavenger hunt in a used bookstore.
Creates instant conversation.
Totally. And signals genuine thoughtfulness. It shows you listened, you care about their interests, you crafted an experience around them. That's often way more impressive than some grand generic plan that says, I see you. That recognition. Incredibly powerful for connection.
We've covered so much ground, from avoiding silences to personalizing activities. But let's dive into some of those really common questions people search online. The first date, FAQs. Boiling it all down, what truly makes a good first date activity?
Okay, at its core, a good first date activity is one that successfully encourages authentic conversation. It feels fundamentally safe for both people. And crucially, it doesn't put too much pressure on either person.
Low-stakes platform for interaction.
Exactly. Interactive yet low-stakes ideas. Board game cafes, trivia nights, a casual museum walk, they consistently rank high because they strike that ideal balance. Shared focus, organic conversation prompts, relaxed atmosphere where connection can flourish without feeling like you're under a microscope. Creates an environment for curiosity.
Okay, what about those underrated first date ideas, the hidden gems people might overlook?
Yeah, the underrated ones often blend novelty, interaction, and low pressure. Like visiting a farmer's market. It's visual, interactive, sensory. You can chat about produce, crafts, try samples together.
Flea markets, too.
Similar vibe. Exploring a flea market offers unique discoveries, lighthearted banter, shared exploration. Or attending a local comedy show. Shared laughter is such an incredible bonding agent. Builds immediate camaraderie.
And Reddit favorites.
Right. Reddit users frequently mention bookstore dates, those murder mystery dinners, paint and sip classes. They often surprise people with how fun and connecting they can be. Being a bit off the beaten path adds to the memorable quality, makes the date feel distinct.
And practically speaking, how long should a first date last? Is there a magic number?
Most dating experts, and lots of anecdotal evidence, suggest keeping a first date around 60 to 90 minutes.
An hour to an hour and a half? Why?
Seems to be the psychological sweet spot. It's long enough to create a connection, gauge chemistry, have a meaningful chat without rushing. But it's also short enough to avoid fatigue or prolonged awkwardness if it's not clicking. Allows for a graceful exit.
Leaves them wanting more, maybe.
Exactly. If things are going well, it builds anticipation. And if both people are genuinely having fun and the chemistry is there, extending it naturally, grabbing another coffee, taking a stroll, moving to a nearby spot, that's always a great option. A clear signal of mutual interest.
What about the biggest do's and don'ts? Like a quick cheat sheet for success right before you walk out the door.
Okay, the do's are fundamental. Respect engagement. First, punctuality. Be on time, maybe even a few minutes early, shows respect for their time. Second, presence. Truly be there, engaged, listening. Put your phone away, out of sight. Signals undivided attention. That simple act communicates huge value.
Okay, phone away. What else?
Third, ask open-ended questions. Invite stories, deeper insights, not just yes/no. Fourth, use their name casually. Adds a personal touch, shows you're paying attention. And above all, show genuine interest in what they say, who they are. Listen more than you talk.
Got it. And the don'ts. Critical pitfalls.
First, avoid oversharing, especially about past relationships, deep traumas, money stuff. It's too much for a first meeting, creates emotional burden.
Talk it later.
Yeah. Second, steer clear of excessive drinking. Impairs judgment, leads to regrettable comments, makes you seem less in control. Third, definitely don't complain about exes, past relationships, your life, projects negativity, signals you might be stuck, turns the date into therapy.
Nobody wants...
No. Style guides everywhere emphasize. Small, positive gestures matter hugely. These don'ts can quickly derail things.
Okay, last FAQ. Those adventurous dates, can they actually help break the ice, or are they often just too much pressure first time around? It's a fine line.
Yeah, it is a fine line. Adventurous dates can absolutely help break the ice, create memorable moments, but only if both people are demonstrably comfortable with the specific activity.
Like what kind of activity?
Things like indoor rock climbing, maybe a spirited game of mini-golf. They inherently create excitement, conversation through shared experience, lighthearted challenge. The thrill, the novelty can be a powerful bonding agent. Quick camaraderie.
At the risk?
Many forum users, experts too, caution that truly extreme or physically demanding adventures, whitewater rafting, intense hiking, can feel incredibly overwhelming, intimidating, even unsafe if trust isn't established yet.
That's someone on the spot.
Yeah, makes them feel inadequate if they're not up for it. So, generally wiser to save the more intense stuff for later dates, when you know each other's comfort levels, physical abilities, adventurous spirit.
Good rule of thumb.
If it requires special gear or signing a waiver, save it for date 3 maybe.
This has been incredibly insightful, really digging into the nuances of making a first date shine. We've covered everything from quirky bookstores to quiet gardens, managing anxiety to mastering conversation flow. But what's the real secret? Crafting a first date they'll never forget, beyond just the idea itself. It's not just picking the perfect activity, is it?
No, it's not. And what's fascinating here is the secret isn't about orchestrating some picture-perfect, Instagrammable moment, though, a good photo op never hurts.
True.
It's really about building a genuine, comfortable space,
Yeah.
a space where two people can actually connect, where authenticity feels not just allowed, but actively encouraged. The idea you choose, that's just the stage, the interaction that unfolds on it, the shared emotional landscape you navigate together, that's the real play.
So how do you build that space?
A huge part, often underestimated, is adding a truly personal touch. Choosing a spot that subtly reflects something you know they're interested in, or incorporating a playful, low-pressure activity that shows you listened, you considered them.
Like the bookstore example before coffee?
Exactly. Imagine Liam finds out his date loves books. Instead of just coffee, he plans that casual stop at a cozy indie bookstore before coffee. A quick browse, maybe pick out a book for each other based on a fun prompt, then discuss them over coffee.
Transforms an ordinary date.
Totally. Makes it special, incredibly thoughtful. It signals, I heard you. I value your interests. I put thought into making this enjoyable for you, without adding pressure. It's a quiet gesture that speaks volumes.
That's fantastic. What about surprises? Do they work on a first date? Or too much pressure, maybe discomfort?
Surprise can be incredibly exciting, right? Adds a delightful spark. But on a first date, it works best in small, carefully considered doses. Think of it like a little bonus, not the whole plan.
Small doses like,
A hidden gem cafe you happen to stumble upon. A quirky art exhibit nearby you didn't expect. An unexpected ice cream stop during a walk. Just enough spontaneity and novelty without feeling overwhelming.
so people appreciate creativity but not feeling unprepared.
Exactly. Daters online often say they like fun and creativity, but they don't want to feel confused or totally out of their comfort zone. The surprise should be a pleasant addition, a cherry on top, not a source of anxiety or a forced grand gesture. Shows fun and adventure, not control.
And finally, anything else key?
Yeah, truly, don't underestimate the profound role of humor and spontaneity. Laughter is, honestly, the best icebreaker known to humanity.
Shared laughter bonds people.
Instantly. Whether it's guessing answers at trivia, making fun of shared mistakes in pottery class, it builds bonds, diffuses tension, creates ease. Deeply memorable.
And spontaneity.
Also magic. Deciding to stroll through a park after coffee because the weather's suddenly gorgeous. Extending the date with a spur-of-the-moment visit to a market because you're both enjoying the chat. It keeps the experience dynamic, memorable, without needing some rigid, pre-planned agenda.
Shows you're adaptable, enjoying their company.
Yeah, exactly. Shows you can go with the flow, which is really attractive.
This has been incredibly insightful, not just ideas, but the why behind them, really transforming the approach. Okay, final thoughts. Before stepping out the door, what's our last-minute checklist? For success, for confidence, sending Liam out the door feeling ready.
Okay, last-minute check. First, outfit and grooming basics. Choose something that makes you feel genuinely confident and comfortable. Doesn't have to be super formal or trendy, just reflects effort and your style.
Clean shoes count.
Clean shoes, neat grooming, subtle details, they often speak louder than flashy stuff.
Yeah.
When you feel good in what you wear, that confidence radiates. It's about presenting your best, authentic self.
Okay. Second.
Conversation starter tips. Have a few engaging, lighthearted questions ready. Like we talked about travel, childhood movies, hobbies they want to try, easy jumping off points.
But the key is
Listening. Be present, curious, genuinely interested. Ask follow-up questions. Show you're absorbing what they say. That's where real connection starts.
got it. And finally,
Cultivate a flexible mindset. Have backup plans. Things don't always go exactly as planned, and that's okay, so the cafe's packed. Confidently suggest a nearby park or a different spot. Activity canceled. Pivot smoothly to dessert somewhere.
adaptability is key.
Shows positivity, resourcefulness, calm demeanor. Shows you can roll with the punches. That's an incredibly attractive, reassuring quality. Signals resilience, good attitude. Turns a potential disaster into maybe a charming, memorable pivot. So when you really think about it, the true measure of an unforgettable first date, it isn't found in how extravagant it was or how unique the idea. It's measured by the quality of the genuine connection it fosters. Whether it's an escape room, a botanical garden stroll, or just sharing a relaxed coffee. Authenticity and mutual comfort, they're paramount. It's about creating that space where two people can just be themselves, feel seen, and discover if there's a spark there, something worth exploring further.
And what we've really unpacked today is that addressing those common concerns, avoiding awkwardness, staying safe, finding budget-friendly options, it doesn't actually complicate dating.
Not at all.
In fact, by understanding and thoughtfully planning for those anxieties, simplicity paired with genuine thoughtfulness often leaves the strongest, most lasting impression.
Absolutely.
It's not about complex strategies or big performances. It's about mindful presence, authentic connection, transforming that dreaded job interview into a truly memorable start.
So as you think about your next first date, maybe ask yourself this. What single, small, thoughtful gesture can you bring to that experience that truly speaks volumes about who you are without even saying a word?
If this episode gave you value, share it with someone you care about, hit subscribe, and leave a review.